Alright guys, let's get into arrangement view. So we've covered session view. Alright guys, let's get into arrangement view. So we've covered session view. You can actually play live as well. Alright guys, let's get into arrangement view. So we've covered session view. You can actually play live as well. And then if you hit record, and then click this button, it should send things to arrangement view, which we just did there. There's another way of doing that as well, which if we hit record again, and then and then we toggle to arrangement view, we actually get this. Ooh. And then if we click that button there, then the play button, we can actually bring this into arrangement view, which is this view. So this is the view I predominantly use for Ableton. It's pretty fun, it's quite sleek and like effective. I like it, and I'll show you kind of the benefits of using it and how we're going to use it to make tracks in Ableton really quickly. But yeah, session view is great for live performers, but arrangement view is more for, you know, arranging a song and songwriting process, less of a live aspect. You can still do live sets from here, which we could cover later on, but we'll just cover making tracks for now. So here we have our audio kind of interface, kind of basic arrangement view, and there's loads of shortcuts that we can cover on here and things we can do. So we'll start with the top left and then we'll kind of work our way across. So you can actually link to external hardware, clicking link on, or apps. You can tap your own BPM in here by clicking, which is pretty fun, pretty cool. And you can turn up the BPM, you know, using this BPM tempo box. Slow things down. And if you double click it, it'll reset to 120. I've been making tracks at 134 at the moment, so yeah, pretty fun. And you can like do like a phase nudge down, which is kind of like jog wheeling index. So it's like, you know, when you kind of slowly slows it down to you know, maybe -2 BPM, so it'll take it to 132 when you hold this down, and then up to 136 when you hold this down, something like that. Then here you got your time signatures, so you know, you got your classic house, EDM dance music. You've got 4 to the floor, which is great, and you can do like 3 to the 4, and you can just kind of do like a regular time signatures here, which is quite fun and an interesting way for like jazz or interpretive music. You could kind of change that up a bit. And then here we've got the metronome button, so if we click that, we should get a little metronome ticking in the background. So if we're playing, you know, the guitar or whatever, we can kind of keep that in time. Or we could, you know, double click and then highlight these and then quantize, which will snap them to the grid. You can actually change your metronome settings, so you can have like a count in, so you can have like a 4-bar count in. So let's say I was to hit record, the metronome would count in 4 bars, and then it will count us in. The CPU's going mad at the moment. Interesting. So they've updated the CPU. Over here you got your average and current, so that's fun. And then, you know, you've got different metronome sounds. So you've got classic, you know, the one everyone knows, and you've got a wooden metronome. sounds a bit different in Ableton 11, which is pretty interesting. Just a quick observation, but yeah, I like it. It looks very sleek. And then here we've got the follow button. So the shortcut for that is Command Shift F, and that'll activate up here, or Alt Shift F. And basically, when you press play, it's just going to follow. It's going to follow the project along this white line. So I often have that activated because it's just quite interesting and fun to see your project, you know, and you don't get lost. So like, you know what I mean? It just looks a bit better. So that's enabled. Then you've got your arrangement position, which is where the track will start from if you press play. So you can see as I'm, you know, scrolling up with that, that's actually going to change the start position. And then you've got the play button, little sideways Dorito. You know, everyone uses that. It's really useful. So shortcuts for that is like play. There's a space bar. You got that. Let's turn off the metronome. And then if you do shift and space, it should play from the start. Or the current, you know, where you left it. And then if you hold Option and space, it'll play from where you click. Just space will do that as well. You got the stop button, which is space also. So after you have press play, you can click that, and if you double click it, it'll go back to the start of the arrangement, so 1-1-1, which is great. Then you've got your arrangement record button, so anything that's armed here, you can record. We've got our metronome counting us in, so let's let that count us in. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, there you go, bang. And we're in, and then it's recording this because the arrangement is enabled. And another thing we can do is, if we were to quickly bring in an audio effect just for the purpose of what we're doing, if we were to hit record, let's just solo our kick. So that's what it sounds like with our echo. But if we hit record while we're soloing, we can actually do a live automation. So we'll just count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as we're toggling the automation using the dry wet, if you actually open the automation view by clicking this expanding arrow here, you can actually see it's a live performance of what we did, which is quite interesting because, you know, the dry wet is being played live, so you're actually turning the echo into an instrument, and you can do that throughout. So you just have to hit record, and then you can actually play any audio effect like an instrument, so it's pretty interesting. And you can do this for any parameter as well, so for example reverb, if I was to hit record, I'm just going to turn off this counting in, just count into none, and then if we hit record, we can now send reverb using the echo effect. You can see this is the automation line, so it's essentially how much reverb we're sending, and it's being automated. So whenever we play this back, this is the way that the reverb's going to go, which is really interesting because we can play, you know, instruments and audio effects live, so that's pretty cool. If we delete that, the automation goes. Over here we've got colours, so you'll normally have like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, grey, and you can actually set different things. So let's say wavetable, echoic, chamber. So I really love that. I'd, you know, do use or like presets, and then every time I go to use, it will now be in here. So I've seen some people have like kick, clap, snare, you know, vocal, and then that way, if your samples are disorganized, like you get them off Splice or something, you can just label them all with a yellow, which is a kick, or a yellow, which is a clap, and then you can go into your yellow, and then you'll have them all there, and you'll have everything which is clap related to your yellow, you know, but you know, you've got these colors, and if you right click, you can rename. So let's say we want clap, but it's actually presets. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, you can just map stuff to here. So I've got like scales and stuff, which we'll go over later. I've got mastering chain, some useful stuff, like I've got a snare rolls folder, some interesting waveforms, some classic vocals. So anything that piques my interest, I'll just put it in the U's. But yeah, I make quite a variety of genres, so there's a lot of... know how you can actually drag this to make this more open. So I've got a few acapellas in there. And that is this part of arrangement view. So now we've got categories, which has like sound. So we've got some new things, MPE sounds. We'll be looking at this later for sure. Some really nice sounds here. Sounds like Ableton did a great job. And then we've got drums, which we use that in session view, driller kit. That's really nice. Some nice hip hop swingy drums. Some kind of classic pop drums. And you got all your core kits. Like this, I've got the 505 in this one, which is pretty cool. Definitely a lot of stuff to use there, really interesting. And then we've got instruments. You've got, you've got your analog in here, you've got your operator, super powerful Ableton synth, which is fun to use. You've got analog as well, which is fun. And you've got wavetable, which is like synthesizer, you can load wavetables in. Show you that. Yeah, looks pretty cool. Oh wow, and you can add macros in this, that's fun. Cool, so yeah, we'll look at that later. Macros are basically like quick controls, so if you had a piece of hardware you could map them to the macros. I'll show you that later. But yeah, we've got some wavetable stuff, audio effects. Oh, this looks different. Delay and loop, spectral time, this is new. Drive and color, yeah, that looks pretty similar. Maybe they've added some presets, but yeah, it looks really cool. Dynamics, got your compressor, classic stuff, EQ and filters, you've got your classic stuff. It's all nice and compartmentalized. I really like that. Modulators, LFO, so that used to be a Max for Live thing, that's in there now. Envelope follower, these all used to be Max for Live stuff, so that's fun. Let's see, is it any different? Let's load it in. Thought it was just a box with like a line. Don't know if it's going to have a different effect now. Maybe they've upped the visuals. I've seen they've upped the visuals for a lot of stuff. Okay, so it's pretty much the same, but this is like a little fun little preset thing. Cool. Pitch and modulation, chorus ensemble. That's before it's just a chorus. Yeah, this is new. That sounds really cool. Oh wow, I'd love to use that for a bass. That's fun. We'll definitely look at that later. Frequency shifter. Pretty sure this is new. Yeah, that is sick. Oh my god. Gonna have to get Ableton 11 now, that is so fun. Let's see what are these presets. Jesus, nice study. Good for techno. Classic. Wow. Wow, that sounded like it had some sort of reverb in the mix there. That's really interesting. Wow. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have lots of fun with this. They've gone all out Ableton in this site from 9 to 10. It's amazing. So nice. So yeah, we'll look at all of these in more detail later on. Phaser flanger, maybe they've upgraded that. Yep, they have. So wow. Jesus. Sounds good. Could be good for a kick drum. We'll look at that later. Reverb and resonance. So I know there's going to be some new stuff in here. There's a hybrid reverb. This is new. So it sounds like it stacks a sample onto the reverb. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Probably drag stuff into here as well. God knows. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see. You can. So it's like shapes the reverb. It's like a wavetable reverb. Very interesting. And like a little blend. Cool. I like it. I'm a fan. And it looks like it's got an EQ built in. That looks pretty. It's nice. Updated EQ. Very cool. Alright. So back to audio effects. Spectral resonator. Wow. Oh, I love this. Don't have a clue what this is. Wow. Just get a totally different granular layer. So I'll show you what we can do quickly is if I get a new audio track and then change the input and do external in and then arm it, I can actually record this sound as audio. It's recording from the kick sample. It's very nice, like modular kind of top loop. Very nice in a minimal track, and I guess you can obviously edit it. Wow, really interesting. And now if we go auto, we can actually, we've got this, if we double click, we can, oh wow. Up the gain. Should make it louder. Interesting. Okay. And now we've got the transpose window here. Wow. Interesting. Very cool. Alright then, moving on. Vocoder, have they done anything to the vocoder? That's very cool. Yeah, classic. Alright, now utilities. Let's see. You've got your audio effect rack, that's the same. Spectrum, same. Utility. So what's the utility look like? Have they changed it at all? No, classic. I like it. One little small gripe, and I'm probably clutching at straws here, but if we get that audio back that we just had, I used to like, so yeah, you see this, I used to like, you could see like there was like a gain bar, that's gone now. Anyway, got to move with the times, I guess. Edit, no sample editor application, would you like to select one? Okay. Interesting. Sample editor, but I'm guessing that's like simpler, no? Okay. There's something going on there, and I guess you can click reverse, that'll reverse the sample. Groovy. What's the groove pool saying? Oh, they've updated the groove pool a little bit. It looks, I guess they've just compartmentalized everything again. Adding grooves to your drums. We'll just get rid of that because we don't really need that right now. But yeah, that's interesting because, you know, normally there was like a bar for the gain and you could toggle it. Still got all the beats, modes, high Q, RAM. Okay, and you got your BPM. Okay, I mean, I kind of miss that, like, you know, there used to be like a little bar and you could drag it up and down and it would change the volume, but we move, you know, things change. It's Ableton 11, time to get a new watch. So, Let's look back at Max for Live. Have they got any Max for Live stuff in here? Yes, they do. Melodic steps. Very cool. Let's see what it does. Okay. Nice. It's like tantra almost. And I guess you can randomize it using these things. Wow. You can do your scales here. Nice. Interesting. Alright. Max instrument, what have they got? Oh, a couple of things. Poly, I've heard about this. Let's get it. What does it do? Must be some sort of like bass instrument thing. Wow, okay, cool. Sine wave, pulse, sub, noise. Wow, they're really going all out with these new ideas, like the synthesizers and stuff. I'm quite impressed. Feels like they've added a lot more than I thought they would. Sorry, and then legato. Randomize. Interesting. So if we just highlight this, oh, that looks nice, that's different. And we right click, consolidate. Okay, now we can, oh, sorry about that. That's a bit loud. So, I'm guessing, let's just turn it down. I'll just quickly adjust this. This is where you adjust the volume. Put it at minus 6 dB. You can change the shape. Wow. Interesting. I guess you can change the, okay. Jesus. Sub. Okay. Oh, that chorus does a lot, doesn't it? Well, very, very cool. Interesting. I like it. I'm a just to look at that in later detail. Not detail, but let's get rid of this stuff.